All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Today is a webinar being presented by Study Smart Tutors. I'll introduce us in a second. And here we are partnering with Results Learning on the Arizona Achievement Tutoring Initiative. We are Study Smart Tutors, like I mentioned. We have been serving low-income and first-gen students since 2010. Our company is headquartered in California, but we do have a nexus of operations in Arizona. Elise is our resident Arizonan, and I'll let her introduce herself in a minute. But our company provides comprehensive college and career readiness programming, tutoring, professional learning, parent and family programming to schools and districts nationwide. And we are excited to be a part of this project and excited to partner with Results Learning as well on this initiative to provide in-person and also some virtual tutoring to students in Arizona through this initiative. I'm Jack Friedman. I am the founder of Study Smart Tutors, and I am based in Los Angeles, California. I'll give my colleagues a moment to introduce themselves as well.
I am Io Strange, and I am the Associate Director of Partnership Development.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Elise, are you hearing her?
Yeah, I can hear her.
I can't hear anyone. Okay, never mind.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm the Associate Director of Partnership Development here at Study Smart Tutors, and I'm actually based in the Nashville, Tennessee area.
And I'm Elise. I'm the Partnership Manager with Study Smart Tutors, and I'm also the local Arizona lead for this project.
Excellent. Thanks, Elise. If anyone would like to share in the chat box or who they are and what their role is in their school or district, that would be great. As part of this project, we are interfacing with district leaders, with school principals, with teachers, with school counselors, parent and family liaisons, and happy to tailor any of our conversation today to your specific roles. So please take a moment if you'd like to do that. That's great. Thanks, Marcy. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Great. We've got a principal in high school. Awesome. And I know that this project is K through 12. So we'll be happy, Elise, we'll be happy to talk about some of the differences that this project will entail for an elementary school student versus a middle school student versus a high school student. There are some nuances and differences required by the state as part of this project. Awesome. Hi, Rachel. Excellent. We've got a YMCA on here. Great. We are partnering with a number of after-school programs as part of this initiative. And so we're excited for that as well. Hi, Annette. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. And feel free to continue to use the chat box, to use the Q&A box throughout our time today. We want to make sure that this is a valuable experience for everybody. And we will also record this so you can share with your teams. And we'll make sure to send this PowerPoint out to you.
Awesome. So nice to meet all of you. First, just wanted to briefly take the time to go introduce this new exciting program. As Jack was mentioning, it is a state-funded program that is seeking to provide high-quality tutoring to Arizona students in math, reading, writing, and ACT prep to all students in K through 12, with a special emphasis on the students who are not testing proficient in those areas and do not qualify for an existing tutoring program. And I'll get a little bit into what that means. For this program, the Achievement Tutoring, I have a side-by-side comparison of how it differs from an existing state tutoring initiative that you might already be familiar with. So this one is different. It is different funding. It's from the SR3 fund, and it is just for this school year. So it'll go in 6-week cycles starting January 16th through July. The achievement tutoring is only for schools that are an A, B, or C. So not for the D or F, schools cannot participate. And the tutoring size groups are preferred in groups of 3. So a 3-to-1 ratio is preferred. It can be 1-to-1 or 2-to-1, but no more than 3-to-1. So a little few kind of quick facts for you all. So who is eligible to participate? So as I mentioned, all K through 12 public school districts or charters at A, B, or C schools. So does not include homeschooled or private schools. They are not eligible, but pretty much the whole state can join. Is there a cost to schools or families? No, the tutoring program, it's free to schools, families, students. The Arizona Department of Education is using the SR3 funds to provide tutoring for students who have been impacted during the pandemic. Which subjects are covered? So kind of I mentioned before, it's reading, writing, math, and they just recently opened it up for ACT prep as well. And how and where tutoring sessions conducted. So they can happen really pretty flexible, before, after school, weekends, Saturdays, Sundays. They just are not, anytime that's not during the actual school day, they can take place, and they can be at school sites, community centers, like Boys and Girls Clubs or the YMCA, public libraries, etc. So some of just the project requirements, and I can kind of go through this quickly, but it is aligned with the EASY state standards for culture and curriculum. You can use the school's core supplemental curriculums with differentiated teaching methods aligned to each student's needs and learning modality. These can help increase teacher buy-in, directly ties to what is expected in the classroom. There is consistent collaboration with each school, their teachers and staff, and all the reporting and data collection to each school and the Arizona Department of Education. For the data reporting, so there, with this initiative, there is semester and or yearly data reporting of tutoring session observations and attendance. There are pre and post test benchmarks, and as Jack mentioned, this is one of the differences for the grades. It is only for 1st through 8th grade students only are required to take a pre and post test benchmark at the beginning and end of each tutoring cycle. So I'll get a little bit more into that later. Also, there are student progress reports to families, time in and out, amount of tutoring for each student will be tracked and collected. We'll provide tutor feedback as well as students. So a brief overview, we went over some of this earlier, but in a nutshell, each student will receive this tutoring. Can be in person or online. It can be at school sites, community centers, public libraries. It is run in 6-week cycles. So the first 6-week cycle, and you'll see I have the dates coming up, is on the 16th, so next week. And each cycle, students can sign up for one subject. So either math or reading, writing, students can sign up for multiple cycles, and they can sign up for the same subject each cycle, but they can only take one subject at a time. And each student can receive up to 24 hours total of support during the 6-week cycle. As I mentioned before, the ratio is 1-to-3. And yes, students can sign up for multiple cycles, so we can help them throughout the semester. Here's a brief, some important upcoming dates for the spring, and they are coming up fast, so that's why we are excited and want to get these processes going as soon as possible. The first start date for cycle 2 is Tuesday, January 16th, and the close date is the 30th. And by close date, that is the last day for students to enroll in cycle 2. After that, it will be closed and will have to enroll for cycle 3. The post-test window, so that's when they'll be administering the post-test exams, February 20th to 27th. And you can see the start of cycle 3 will be February 27th. And these 6-week cycles will continue throughout July. So how do students and families sign up? So we have created our own tutoring interest form in order to better assess the need at each school site or community center. This is a QR code, and it will lead you to at least the English version of our interest form. There's questions on preferred available days, times, what grade their student is in, what school they go to, and what subjects they need support in. Our team then will work with the school, organization, LEA, district lead to create a schedule based around the need. For example, we get 10 surveys from students needing math, 5 needing reading. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the best days for parents. We'll work on getting 5 tutors going to either the after school for 2 hours, etc. The other thing for kind of important from the state as far as enrollment for students is there's 2 main things that we need on the platform to enroll a student. It's their SSID number and their date of birth. I will make sure to include these links to both the Spanish and English interest form in our follow-up email.
Okay, so let's talk about how the program is implemented. So our services are not one size fits all. We provide customized support by determining the number of hours of tutoring that's needed, the length of classes, and implementation. And the implementation model can be fine-tuned to meet your school's needs. We can also provide virtual or in-person programming. Additionally, we have a data-driven approach, formally assessing students in grades 1 through 8, as Elise mentioned, at the beginning and end of each 6-week tutoring block. ADE does not have an assessment assigned to students in kindergarten or in grades 9 through 12. So just think about what the tutoring at your school currently looks like. And the next slide. So a few questions for discussion, and feel free to chime in here as I ask these questions in the chat box if you'd like. So just think about what has worked for you in the past regarding tutoring. If you have any feedback there, you can plug that into the chat box. Also think about what are the biggest obstacles that you're anticipating? As you think about ratios, times, tutors, etc. What is not going to work for you? And then also just think about, what is the ideal partnership between the tutoring provider, the school district, and then also the schools. So we have some feedback here that they've not offered tutoring at the Y, but parents do use the school district to sign up their children. So that's great. Let's go to the next slide. So our goals of the tutoring partnerships with your schools are to focus on building a relationship with each student. We're looking to meet students where they are and teach them how they learn. We want to have effective student recruitment and retention so that every student receives the full benefits of their tutoring. And we always want to pay attention to the social emotional needs as they're the door to open learning pathways. We want the students to get the most out of this tutoring as possible. So here are the components of our tutoring programs. We do community building. So we provide an environment where students can interact with each other, share their passions and culture, and explore their interests. We provide enrichment. So we're adding something fun to the program that gets the students excited, engaged, and wanting to participate. It can even be used as a recruitment tool for you. We include academic intervention, and summer is a really good time to help students catch up from any learning loss due to COVID. And then we also provide college and career readiness to prepare them for their future. We also have a number of measures in place so that we can launch tutoring services as efficiently as possible. So we're working with school districts to define their structures and understand what spaces that we'll be working in. We're meeting with the school staff to establish the goals, such as the subjects, ages and grades of students, etc., as well as the schedule. We also generate a proposal that is reflective of the discussed services and goals, and we send that over to the school staff for approval before getting started. And when it comes to delivering the project, we work to identify the tutors, and while the school staff works to identify the students and the classes that need support. We also manage the final logistics. So we have a site contact, location, we have technology access, we know the duration, and all of these details are confirmed before starting. And then once the services begin, we have regular check-ins that are scheduled to monitor the partnership success. We want to make the most out of this. So let's talk a little bit about our tutors. We staff highly qualified tutors. So they have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. They're also tested prior to starting their tutoring, and they're passing the testing. They also have experience with tutoring and or teaching. They've demonstrated subject expertise. They have done a background check and been cleared. They've also completed a rigorous professional development course through Study Smart Tutors, which includes the subjects of student support, cultural competency, mentorship and active listening, social emotional learning, and metacognition checks for understanding, and more. So to be clear, Study Smart Tutors is not a staffing agency. We offer a ton of support in the form of a program manager, partnership managers, and academic success managers who'll make regular visits to your school to work with the tutors and your staff to ensure everything is going smoothly and effectively, and to make improvements as necessary. So because there are thousands of students across the state who are signing up for tutoring services, we are actively hiring tutors. All Arizona teachers are eligible to tutor in this program, so please encourage the teachers at your school and any other teachers that you know to apply.
All right, so how we can partner with LEAs or other district leads, or even school admin or community organizations. We can really partner with you in many different capacities. So we can be as hands-on or as hands-off as you need. If you want to be super involved with your program, great. No, if not, no problem. You can tell us what you need and we'll work with you to fill in the gaps. We can be used for staffing needs, curriculum, logistical support, data tracking. Our team is flexible and we can accommodate any level of involvement that you prefer. So let's say you want a more hands-off approach, or maybe you're understaffed, or you just don't have the bandwidth. Maybe the need in your district exceeds the amount of available staff or resources. There are many benefits to partnering with us. So one is we have our own curriculum that we can use for tutoring if you don't want to use your own. We have modern educational technology to enhance the learning experience. Our team can also really help with the data tracking, collection, and testing assessments. So as you mentioned, the 1st through 8th graders will be formally assessed at the beginning and end of each 6-week tutoring block. And our team can support in administering these tests, as well as tracking the attendance, the amount of time tutored with each student, all of these data, things that are important for us to collect for the state in order to submit for the invoicing. We have a long history of success in improving students' academic performance with measurable results in standardized testing and classroom achievements. We offer a tailored approach. Our tutors develop individualized learning plans for each student, addressing their unique strengths and areas of improvement. The personalized approach ensures maximum impact on academic growth. We have qualified and passionate tutors, and as I kind of mentioned, some of the rigorous training that they go through, but we look for tutors who have experience working with these students and have a real passion for getting to know them and helping support. So as many of you already know, providing equal opportunities for high quality education, safe learning environment, and diverse student body that enhances the educational experiences of all students requires a collective effort of a community. The state set a rule that we cannot exceed a ratio of 3 students per tutor. If we aim to help as many students as possible, we will need a large number of qualified tutors. By partnering with us, you can get access to qualified tutors, curriculum, logistical support, and resources that are necessary to expand this initiative on a larger scale. To serve as many students as possible also requires a lot of available space. Right now, we are partnering with community organizations like the Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, other after-school programs to utilize their available space, classrooms, their gyms, multi-purpose rooms, etc., for the tutoring. We can also hire your staff. So the state provides flexibility in terms of acquiring tutors. We can either train your teachers to become tutors or provide our own staff for tutoring, or a combination of both. We can bring in our own tutors to support your existing staff and help filling out any gaps. For example, if you have staff available Monday through Thursday, we can come in Fridays and on the weekend. If you find out you have 30 students needing math support and only 3 math teachers, we can come in and bring additional math teachers to help support. Recruitment as well, so we can help assist with that. We know that can sometimes be a daunting task sometimes. Our team has an excellent marketing department, and we can help in creating program awareness, designing flyers, attending school events, and providing initiatives to encourage students to sign up and participate. Overall, our partnership offers a key benefit: the ability to expand this opportunities to more families. By joining forces, we can provide vital resources and targeted academic support to a greater number of students in need. And at this time, we'd like to open it up for some questions. And here's some of my contact info as well.
I see Marcy's question in the chat box. Elise, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so we are really rural, so resources would be our largest challenge. Yeah, so that's definitely a way that we can support, either by even providing